Your host, David Crayden. Thank you for joining me today on September 12th, 2024. Another day pregnant with possibilities. When we come back, the latest dare from Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre to Jagmeet Singh. Guess what the response will be, but we'll be back with more of that in a minute.
So we are in a very precarious position in this country. We need political change, but we also need to resolve to resist.
Hey, yes, please like the station, subscribe if you haven't, resubscribe if you need to, please. Thank you for your support this week. We are heading towards that 30,000 subscriber goal, which we will meet together. And yeah, YouTube has been suppressing me. Other stations, they don't mind because they don't talk about issues. It's just ad hominem insults, but we do more here. I'm trying to give you all the news you need to know, and because I continue to work in the real news business, which is weird today. It's all over the place. But here's a story I did yesterday. Maybe you heard about this. Pierre Poilievre pledges to put forth non-confidence motion ASAP. Challenges Jagmeet Singh to commit to vote against Trudeau government. So I wrote that yesterday for the Post-Millennial, breaking as it came out. I want to show you some video in a second, but what does it mean? Well, it's very clear what Pierre Poilievre means. It's not very clear what Jagmeet Singh means. Is it ever clear about Jagmeet Singh? He is clearly an increasingly irrelevant political leader with no force, no function, except clinging to his job as leader of a party that is wondering what in the hell it even believes in. Does it have any real support? So I want to show you Poilievre's challenge. Can you recall the last time Pierre Poilievre stood on the steps of Parliament Hill and he said, Jagmeet, I dare you. Break your relationship with Justin Trudeau. And I'm not talking about anything private. Cut the ties. Stop this loose coalition. End it now. And of course, Jagmeet did. But of course, it had nothing to do with Poilievre. Nothing. And that's what he's saying again today. But this is fascinating. Let's watch this.
Now, Jagmeet Singh, who supported all these policies, in fact pushed for them to happen, says that Justin Trudeau is radioactive. And right before the by-elections, Singh suddenly had a change of heart, or so he said, publishing a video claiming that he was no longer in the costly coalition. Well, let's look at the wording. The costly coalition is called a supply and confidence agreement. So if you're pulling out, you have to vote non-confidence. If you don't, you're still in the agreement. No, Trudeau is radioactive. And right claiming that he was no longer in the costly coalition.
Now, his logic here is inescapable. Clearly, Poilievre is right. If you say you've withdrawn from an agreement that is about a confidence vote, then you should be obviously voting against the government.
Well, let's look at the wording. The costly coalition is called a supply and confidence agreement. So if you're pulling out, you have to vote non-confidence.
Yes,
if you don't,
non-confidence.
You're still in the agreement. No matter what your video stunt would have everyone else believe. So the question that Jagmeet Singh has been asked 31 times in the last week, and he has refused to answer, is whether he will vote non-confidence to trigger a carbon tax election. Now, why is that? Well, let's just inspect the timing here for a second. He did his video 2 days before voting started in those by-elections, trying to trick people into thinking he was no longer part of the coalition. The by-elections will be held on Monday, after which he can just change his mind and go back to voting to keep Trudeau in power. So I have an announcement and a challenge. I'm announcing that common sense Conservatives will put forward a non-confidence motion at the earliest possible opportunity. And I'm asking Jagmeet Singh and the NDP to commit unequivocally before Monday's by-elections. Will they vote non-confidence to bring down the costly coalition and trigger a carbon tax election? Or will Jagmeet Singh sell out Canadians again? Which will it be? It's put up or shut up time for the NDP.
Indeed. Now, let's looking at your comments here. He knows damn well they will never go for it, so why ask? Because you have to ask, Abby. This is part of the political process. He has to ask because last time he got an answer. Last time he basically forced Jagmeet Singh to play his hand. Can he do it again? I think so. I think it's entirely possible. So, I just want to look at your comments here for a second. Clearly, Poilievre plays politics along with everybody else in those comments. But at least his politics have some sense to them. Jagmeet Singh is flailing as a useless political leader, and I use the word leader with some qualification. He really doesn't know what his future holds, except he wants to stay around as leader of the NDP until his pension comes in March. He's concerned his rating is so low, his party is creeping so low in the polls that they'll get rid of him until before March because he is seen as one of the most ineffective NDP leaders in history. Nobody even knows what this guy stands for except going one-man boycott campaigns against Loblaws, even though his brother-in-law works for Metro. The guy is a massive hypocrite. Talks about working for the working class, being there for workers when he doesn't actually probably know one personally in his life. He only meets workers when he's on the NDP campaign trail, and the union leadership drags out workers for photo ops. But here's Jagmeet Singh responding to Pierre Poilievre's "I dare you" challenge. And just look at this. Just look at this man. He can't even stand before a microphone without his human anxiety person behind him relieving some of the pressure. What do these guys stand for? I know they're the communications guy, making sure, we used to call them fart catchers at one time. These are the guys who stand behind politicians just to watch them make mistakes. And if they do make a mistake, what are they going to do? Take the mic from them? It's a ludicrous process. And this is all about looking important. Yes, I'm so important. I have my handler standing behind me at all times. So if I say something stupid, he'll tell me afterwards, "Hey, Jagmeet, you said something really stupid. Maybe you should retract it or say something differently tomorrow." But just watch Jagmeet squirm.
We're going to continue to fight to bring down the price of groceries and protect renters.
What's your response to Pierre Poilievre? What's your response to what he said today specifically that the NDP should put up or shut up?
I say directly to Pierre Poilievre, I'm not going to listen to you, someone who wants to destroy our healthcare system, who wants to hurt seniors by cutting their pensions, someone who wants to attack workers, someone who wants to strip away dental care from seniors. What kind of person wants to strip away dental care when seniors have just gotten it, when kids are receiving it?
How many times have I had comments from folks about these seniors who are eligible for the dental care can't even use it? It's a ludicrous plan. And Jagmeet's got like 4 talking points. Every time he answers a question, it's Pierre Poilievre is evil because he's going to take away old people's pensions. Of course, he's never said that. He's going to scrap this wonderful dental care program that nobody can actually use and actually needs it. And he's just a horrible person. And I can't listen to Pierre Poilievre because he's saying horrible things that as Jagmeet Singh and the NDP would never. And here's his emotional support man behind him, nodding approvingly every. It is so bizarre what politicians get up to these days. And here's Jagmeet in the only suit he owns. This is the one he wears every day in the House of Commons. This is a guy who's a lawyer who's very wealthy, making he seems to only one suit. He wears it to every news conference and question period. It amazes me. Even something like that, detail like that. Maybe his emotional support man behind him can say, Jagmeet, why don't you wear a different suit so people know at least you have something else in your wardrobe? But no, he can't. He can't even do that. Let's listen to the rest of Jagmeet's garbled response
Who
here.
wants to take that away from them? I'm never going to listen to someone like that. So no,
Never.
I'm not going to listen to your advice. You want to destroy people's lives. I want to build up a brighter future. I want to build a better future for Canadians.
Is the reason you don't want an election because it looks like the Conservatives will win?
Yeah.
We have said by ripping up the agreement with Justin.
Did you hear that? The reporter says you don't want an election because you know the Conservatives are going to win. So he's playing this game of, the Trudeau government is reprehensible and we're out of this agreement. But we're not going to vote no confidence because that might mean the end of the government and I might have to seek re-election. But I'm going to look at things on a case-by-case basis, which could go on and on forever. But listen to Jagmeet again, tantalizing you with the possibility of an early election. He has to keep that going because otherwise, this is just an exercise in bizarre theater of the absurd. Him going out there every day and saying, yep, we're going to have an early election, but I can't tell you when, and I can't tell you what is going to force me to vote against the government, but it's going to be an early election. And I'm really serious about this. Please believe me, folks.
Trudeau, I know that makes an election more likely than before.
Is the reason
there will be an election.
There
will be an election at some point, and that election is going to be a choice between Pierre Poilievre, who wants to cut the things you need, or New Democrats who want to give back people hope.
Well, at least he acknowledges there will be an election at some point. Is that in 2025 or 2035? God knows if Justin Trudeau has his way, we'll probably never see another election. But of course, Justin Trudeau has his own problems, doesn't he? And he has sought to minimize those problems, to ameliorate those problems by bringing in his chief opposition, which is Mark Carney. Justin Trudeau might be a moron in many respects.
I'll just say a few words and then pleased to take your questions.
Speaking of Mark Carney, we'll have Mark Carney with us in a second. My producer anticipated me. First of all, let's have Pierre Poilievre's comments about Mark Carney, who is having his cake and eating it too. This is a guy working for the United Nations. Now he's also going to be working for the Liberals. I say that's double-hatted. And he's, as Poilievre says, he's really the de facto finance minister now. Because when's the last time you heard Chrystia Freeland? At the caucus retreat, she said about 3 words. At the cabinet retreat, she said about 3 words. She hasn't been heard of during the caucus retreat. She's been buried someplace. She hasn't shown her face because she's humiliated. Mark Carney has been touted, brought out in front of everybody and said, here's the man who's going to save the Liberal Party. And by the way, he's really the finance minister, but I can't make him the finance minister yet because it's not yet time. But listen to what Poilievre has to say about Mark Carney. This is fascinating.
Or shut up time for the NDP. There will be a carbon tax election, and in it, Canadians will decide whether they keep the NDP Liberals in power to tax your food, punish your work, double your housing cost, unleash crime, chaos, drugs, and disorder on our streets. Will they vote for a 61-cent a litre carbon tax? Or will they elect a common-sense Conservative government that will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime? And we need to bring them down now because otherwise carbon tax Carney's agenda will predominate. We found out that there's a new phantom finance minister. Now, they have a lame duck minister right now who Trudeau is pushing aside, just like he pushed aside other female ministers. And he's bringing in carbon tax Carney, someone who has too many conflicts to hold the real position. Trudeau said he offered carbon tax Carney the real job, but that caused a dilemma. Would carbon tax Carney pick power or money? And he said, I know, I'll have both. He keeps the money with his chairmanship of a large multinational corporation that's moving investment to China, that buys pipelines in Latin America and the Middle East while he opposes them here in Canada. He gets to push his radical Davos agenda of you will own nothing and be happy, while at the same time he doesn't have to respect any of the conflict of interest laws. He doesn't have to have his interests and his investments exposed online like the rest of us. He gets all the power and all the money and none of the accountability. And my worry is that he's going to push for a higher carbon tax. And we know that because when Trudeau relented under my pressure and paused the carbon tax on home heating for oil-heated homes, carbon tax Carney stood up and said, no, there should be a tax on home heating right now. In other words, carbon tax Carney believes the tax doesn't go far enough. I have quotes from his book here. And I raise this with you because he was trying to weasel out and keep his position secret in yesterday's press conference. Here's what he said in his book. The Canadian federal carbon pricing framework is a model for others. One of the most important initiatives is carbon pricing. The best approach is revenue-neutral progressive carbon tax. These are among the reasons why people are starting to know him as Carbon Tax Carney. There we go, even a nice little horn to mark the occasion. Carbon Tax Carney, it's now official. That is his name. And he has a radical agenda. My message to Carbon Tax Carney is come in from out of the shadows. We don't need a phantom finance minister. If you are going to be pulling the strings, you should be on the floor of the House of Commons with your massive financial interests and your foreign interests disclosed to Canadians. Stop pushing to kill Canadian jobs while you ship the jobs abroad. Make your carbon tax agenda known and be held accountable for Canadians so that we can choose in the carbon tax election. And when we do, common sense conservatives will bring home the country we know and love, where hard work earns a powerful paycheck that buys affordable food, gas, and homes in safe neighborhoods where anyone from anywhere can do anything, where the Canadian promise is restored.
Yeah. Do you want to be the finance minister, Mark Carney? Get on the floor of the House of Commons. Let's stop playing this game. What does Mark Carney say about this? This is fascinating. Here.
Thank you all for coming. I'll just say a few words and then pleased to take your questions. Look, and let me start by saying it's an honor to accept this role as chair of this new task force on economic growth for the Prime Minister, for the leader. It comes at, in my view, a decisive time for our economy, for our country. You know, the world is becoming a more dangerous and divided place, and at the same time, the global economy is being transformed. Every major economy is accelerating their energy transition, and being low carbon is becoming a key driver of competitiveness.
See, that is an outright lie, because Germany, for instance, is going in the opposite direction now. Most of Europe is going in the opposite direction because the so-called green energy panacea has not worked. And this clown knows that, but he's lying through his teeth.
We're just at the start of a revolution driven by AI in every sector, every economy, every company. We can no longer rely on the world's rules-based trading system. We have to become an essential trading partner. We can't win an industrial policy arms race. And in all of that environment, we have to grow, both in the short term and for the long term.
Yeah, deceitful. And that's exactly what this is. So let's finish this on a high note. It can't get much funnier than this. But of course, if you watch the debate the night between former President Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris, you'll notice that some of the attention was focused on what's happening in Springfield, Ohio. Little town, almost a city, about 30 minutes south of Columbus, the capital of Ohio, if you know Ohio at all. This is rural Ohio. These are just plain folks. And they've been invaded. This town has been invaded by 20,000 immigrants from Haiti. A lot of them illegals that are there because thanks to the Biden-Harris administration, thanks to Joe Biden's open door policy to immigration, no border policy to immigration. And of course, the subject about some of these Haitians being accused of eating ducks and even pet cats came up.
What in the hell is this?
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating.
Look at Kamala cackling again. Oh, how ridiculous. Oh, how ridiculous.
They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
And ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Ducks are disappearing.
So the migrants are eating geese, you think? Have you heard of pets being abducted?
Yep. Cats are a delicacy in Haiti.
It's not that they're poor and eating them because they don't have other food. It is a delicacy like someone would eat escargot.
That stuff on Facebook, and I thought, I better watch my dogs.
Well, that wasn't verified.
You bet. That's happening. And here, Mike, the governor of Ohio, Mike DeWine, is sending state troopers into Springfield to deal with the Haitian migrant crisis. I wrote this yesterday for the Post Millennial. $2.5 million to help with traffic safety because none of these people know how to drive. And if you've ever been to Haiti, there are no rules to the road. People just drive on one side of the road or the other. There's massive traffic accidents constantly. People drive without license. There's no regulation at all. So apparently these people are just trading in their Haitian driver's license for a U.S. one, for an Ohio state driver's license, or just getting issued new driver's license, and they don't have a clue about how to drive in the United States. And this is outrageous. Yes, and this was from a police report of Haitian migrants actually capturing geese in Springfield, Ohio. The police report, and I encourage you to read the story in the Post Millennial. I wrote that yesterday. It's based on a report in the Federalist where they have a tape recording of a police dispatcher talking to somebody who's an eyewitness saying, yeah, these Haitians are walking on with the geese from the park. This is true. Let's watch a bit of this fascinating documentary.
What's going on here in Springfield?
There's just like an influx of the population in the Haitian community. I mean, they're protected status here, so they're just like, I mean, obviously I've filled up the town with it, and yeah, that's where we're at right now, pretty much.
So you own this laundromat?
Yeah, so my dad owns this laundromat, I own the sneaker store next to it, so I run both things right now, so yeah.
Are your customers primarily Haitian? What's the split?
Before, I would say the last like 2-3 years, I mean, primarily whoever was in town, but yeah, there's a huge influx in, the Haitian community. That's like primarily our like customers like nowadays. So yeah, I will say there's 100% a divide in our town. Thing is like, I just hope that whatever you guys do cover, something good comes out of it, right? Like in the next 5 to 6 years, hopefully there's some sort of unity between everybody. Hopefully there's some sort of change. That's the biggest thing. Like, I feel like you guys should cover just some sort of like way to bring people together. This is the guy you want to talk to.
How you doing, man? We're filming a YouTube video. We're trying to see what's going on here.
This is a guy.
Wait, you running for mayor? Oh yeah, I tried to find you. I know who you are. So out of pure luck, I met up with Anthony Harris, the guy who went viral for giving this speech at Springfield's town hall.
These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They flipping cars in the middle of the street. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them like.
And who's been going live on Facebook documenting the constant car crashes from the new Haitian drivers. We headed to the BMV to see how the Haitians are getting driver's licenses in cars so quickly after moving here despite speaking zero English.
Question for y'all. What are your thoughts on the Haitians? They can't drive? This guy right here, by a Haitian dude. Yo, bonjour.
You got a cat right beside him.
Yeah.
Stop! Do that! Stop, bro. Stop, do that.
You said that shit, not me. You take that back. I did shit.
I'll tell you that back. Bro, come on.
Now, I gotta say at this point, these people are coming into the United States. They can't speak English. And a lot of them are taking avail of English language training that's available. They don't know how to drive. This is the government's problem. This is a government that just seems to want to destroy the United States. Now, if immigrants had to come into Canada or the US in the 1940s and they couldn't speak English, they had to learn English first. And they would not be given a driver's license in Quebec or Ontario simply because they said so. So this is Biden's problem, and this is absolutely crazy.
We be playing, bro. There's nothing wrong with some jokes.
Let's go see what's up. How y'all doing? Question for you. Do you know how the Haitians are getting driver's license? Can they transfer their license from Haiti, or
No, they cannot transfer.
do they have to undergo the same test?
I'm not allowed to answer the personal questions outside of the office.
Not allowed to answer.
You know what they have to do?
I do not.
Okay.
I really don't know. No, but I know they're getting them quick.
They're getting them quick, right? We can ask.
Sir, you are not allowed to take pictures in here, sir. Sir.
In the go inside. Sorry.
Are
they able to transfer their licenses from Haiti to here?
No, not without taking the test. But that's the only question I can answer. I can't answer anything else.
Do you know how the Haitians are getting their driver's license so fast?
I do not.
Okay. All right, that's all I got for you.
I wish I knew.
Are they driving pretty good out here or what?
No.
No?
I do why they put their car in.
Why is that, do you think?
You don't know how to drive in general.
Okay.
Like I see them driving over there trying to learn how to drive, but I don't know if think they have to drive at all.
Okay. Observationally, what have you seen?
9 to 1 easy.
Like, I'm just here because I'm just trying to get them to clear a medical car.
Are the systems stressed right now in Springfield? Can they handle?
Now, this guy is a veteran. He's on disability, and he's trying to visit this government office to ensure he gets his stipend. And he can't even get to see the teller, the person behind the desk, because there are so many Haitians in line who can't speak English, and they have a translator there. And so it takes literally 3 to 4 hours to see anybody. This is how much Joe Biden cares about the United States. This is an absolute travesty. And I bring this up not to go on some rant about Haitians or immigrants, but this is illegal immigration gone crazy. And they're dumping these people into one city or one town and expecting no consequences, no repercussions is insane. And believe me, this is the same mentality we have in Canada under Mark Miller, our immigration minister. They don't think about the consequences of their immigration policy. They don't think if there's going to be horrible repercussions for the people living there. And they don't think about being rational about it. You can't add too many people to one place at one time. And people need to be assimilated into Canadian, or in this case, United States culture, and that's not happening. Just a little more.
The amount of people coming in?
No, they really can't. I've been trying to get just a simple Medicaid card since June. They took me off I'm a vet. They took me off of the disability and made me start paying for my own disability. And I don't know why they took me off, but so I had to give them proof of income and disabilities and stuff. I gave them all that. They still ain't did nothing.
So you're a veteran and you're competing with some of the resources they're getting who just came in here?
Yeah. This America. You dig what I'm saying? But I'm saying that the things that the hoops they make us jump through can have you turn on each other in a sense or say negative things. I don't have anything that's negative to say or bad to say about anybody Haitian. Sure. Know what I mean?
Do you think the town's taking care of their local residents that were here first and foremost?
Oh, no. Hell no.
Well, thanks.
Hell no. Nice little encapsulation of the problems with U.S. immigration, and these are the same problems we're having in Canada. So thank you for joining me today. Let's keep watching the unfolding drama on Parliament Hill. Next Monday, we have a by-election in Montreal. What's going to happen? Liberals have a good chance of losing that. What will the ramifications be for Justin Trudeau? Will there be another nail in the coffin of Justin Trudeau's leadership? I use that expression. I use that word loosely. Will it mean more impending doom? And Jagmeet Singh, like I say, he's got 4 talking points, and he keeps saying the same thing, case-by-case basis. Pierre Poilievre evil. And there will be an election sooner rather than later. That's all he's got. This is a man who doesn't know what in the hell he wants to do with his leadership, his position. So we'll be back tomorrow with all the news you need to know. Keep reading my material in the Post Millennial. And by the way, I'm wearing the t-shirt today. I should have mentioned this is one of our best sellers. This is the t-shirt you can find in our store, in our merch store. This is the preamble to the 1962 Canadian Bill of Rights promulgated by Prime Minister John Diefenbaker. This became very popular during the Freedom Convoy, and a lot of people are finding interest in this shirt. Have a look. We've always got something for everybody. Thank you for watching today, folks. And I'll be back, as I said, tomorrow with all the news.